So today we're at the Washington Aqueduct, which is owned and operated by the Corps of Engineers. And we're here at the Castle Gatehouse, which is a structure that sits over one of the operable gates for the aqueduct. So starting in 2015, it was identified that the castle was in need of some repairs. So we started looking at the condition of the castle, identifying what needed to be replaced, what needed to be repaired, and renovations began within the past few years. So the Castle Gatehouse was constructed at the turn of the 20th century, and it is a historic property that is listed on the National Register of Historic Places. It's an icon landmark here in the District of Columbia. The public is very familiar with, they drive by it, and we all care about it as a historic structure.
The Castle Gatehouse is a historic masonry structure with a steel truss roof system. After about 125 years, as you can imagine, the structure has deteriorated, particularly due to water infiltration, and needs some repairs in order to extend its useful life into the future. So the project we're undertaking is to repair the structural integrity of the historic masonry, which often involves careful selective demolition and replacement of bricks that are no longer able to serve their structural purpose, some additional structural ties to ensure that the various elements of the structure are working together in the event of an earthquake, and then of course restoration of the architectural elements such as the stucco facade. The roof itself is getting a new roof membrane to address the water infiltration issues the structure is experiencing, as well as several truss repairs and replacements where necessary to ensure that the roofing system remains sound.
The Corps Gatehouse is a very important structure to the Corps. It's iconic in terms of our agency. In 1899, it began construction to solve the epidemic of typhoid in the Washington, D.C. area. And the Corps of Engineers was directed to build this structure to clean up the water, and so it was actually a public health response that the Corps of Engineers was called to serve. So now it stands as a symbol of our agency and a symbol of what we have been doing for this nation. Our partnerships are really important. We're currently working with 3 historic preservation agencies. It's the DC Historic Preservation Office, the Advisory Council on Historic Preservation, and the National Park Service. So we're working with our consulting parties because they're really our experts and our partners. So just as we look at innovative ways to restore this structure, we do it with their advice and consultation to make sure that we are consistent with preserving the way the structure was built, the methods and the means that were used, and so that future generations can enjoy it as well.
The aqueduct is the only federally owned and operated water utility, and we provide potable water to the District of Columbia, Arlington County, and Fairfax County in Virginia. The Washington Aqueduct averages about 135 million gallons of water a day that it distributes to our wholesale customers. We receive water at our intakes at Great Falls, and it comes down through a series of pipes to the Dale Carlia Reservoir, continuing on down here to Georgetown, and through the castle, which currently serves as a protection for our screens that are responsible for ensuring debris doesn't get into the system further. Once water settles here at Georgetown, it continues through the city tunnel to our McMillan filtration plant near Howard University.
So as you know, the symbol of the Army Corps of Engineers is the castle, and you'll see it as a decal on our gear that we're wearing today. And so when this building was built in the turn of the 20th century, its design was based off of the Corps logo. So it's one of the few examples of a historic property that actually is based off of a federal agency's symbol. Pretty cool.